All right, what's going on, everybody out there, YouTube world, YouTube land? I'm Real Estate Jay, and I've only got a couple minutes before I got to go to my doctor's appointment. And I had shot this whole video on my phone and it ran out of storage. So I'm going to make this one quick. This is the truth about wholesaling real estate. There are a few things that I wanted to talk about, right? I've been wholesaling for about 4 to 5 years now. And I've seen some things, I've talked to people, I've worked with people, and I just wanted to share some things to help you be successful at a better rate, better chance. So just some things I see in the wholesaling community. Number one, wholesaling is a simple concept, but it is much harder, right? The hustle is sold separately, right? There's some people that think that, oh, I'm going to close a deal in a couple weeks, just from me making a few calls and throwing out some postcards and things like that. And I'm here to tell you that, you might be able to, but there's some people like myself, it took me 4 months to close my first deal. A lot of trial and error. I know some people that took them a year to close their first deal. And whether it takes you 4 months or it takes you a year and a half, the real thing is, what is it that you're in this game for? Are you in it to make some money, or are you in here to build a business? If you're in here to build a business, you're going to stick through the process a lot better. You're going to make a lot of mistakes, but you're going to be better off in the end. If you're in for the money, I could tell you right now, you're not going to be in for very long. Because when you're in for the money, you have in your mind, you have a expectation that, hey, I got to close a deal in a month. I got to close a deal in like 2 months, or I gotta try something else, and then you go on to the next hustle. But if you're in for the process, you're going to be fine. I've talked to people that start wholesaling and they quit wholesaling within some of them the same week. Some don't last longer than a month, 2 months. Sometimes that's way too long for people. And I got to the point where, because people call me often, hey, man, I want to start wholesaling. Hey, this and that. And they'll say, hey, man, I want to work with you. And next thing you know, I'll just send them a text message like, hey, how's things going in the wholesale business? Oh, man, I got busy. Oh, I really haven't started it. And it's like, well, when we first talked, you sound so amped to start wholesaling and change your life. And then not even 2 weeks later, you're like, you know what? This is a little bit harder than what I thought. So if you're in it for the money, you're in it for the wrong reason. If you're in it to build a business, I think you're fine, because you're willing to take a few humps and bumps, but you'll be fine in the end. Another thing I see in the wholesale community a lot is the shiny object syndrome. Soon as there's a new piece of marketing that comes out, everybody just thinks that they need to try it. They spend money on it. And then they get upset when it doesn't work. And here's the thing, right? You can have as many processes and systems as you want to. You have to know how they work. And I always preach one marketing source, one lead type. That's it. Focus on one marketing source to reach that homeowner, and focus on one lead type, right? Just do that for some months until you figure out if it works or if it doesn't. There's a lot of shiny object syndrome, right? New skip trace program comes out, a new CRM comes out, new this and that. Everyone wants to throw their money at it, and they spend so much money every single month. So just stick to one thing and do that one thing, man. Don't be all over the place. So that's one thing. I see a lot of scatterbrain going on too when people start wholesaling. They start hearing about how they can do deals on market, they can go off market, they got for sale by owner, and all these other things. And they just start throwing rocks at everything that they see. And I always tell them, I say, slow down, pick one thing, and let's just do that for at least about a month or two. And I find that they start doing a bunch of things still. And because they're just so anxious. And I'm telling them from experience, because you got to try it for at least a month, right? Dedicated month. Am I getting any responses? Am I getting any feedback? Did I put out any offers? And if you have, let's do it again. If you haven't, we could try something different. But I see a lot of that scatterbrain going on. They don't stay very focused. They think because they're in it for the money, they got to hurry up and make the money. That happens a lot. Another thing I see is the lack of partnerships. The lack of partnerships, man. I know of a couple of wholesalers specifically that I've worked with. They have tried to cut me out of a deal, take money from a deal. They just want to burn bridges, instead of build a partnership that could possibly be a lot longer than what they're thinking. So, you want to build partnerships because when you're wholesaling, right? Wholesaling is like the ground level of real estate investing. Okay, I call it the crash course to real estate investing. You're going through a lot. You're seeing a lot of the ugly homes. You're meeting cash buyers. Your cash buyers have lenders that are funding deals that can potentially be your next lender. You're working with title companies and attorneys. You are learning everything down here, right? You're meeting other wholesalers. And if you learn to work with those other wholesalers, you're going to start building a network and a partnership of people that, hey, if you're down 1 month, you might be able to JV with this guy. Don't do bad business. Let me repeat that again, man, because there's so many people that do this. Do not do bad business. This is a relationship building industry. That's what real estate is. From wholesaling all the way up to freaking development, it's all about people building. And even the people you're working with, the other wholesalers you're working with, you can't just screw them over and just be like, oh, well, I made my $5,000. Well, now you made $5,000 and now you probably missed out on another 50 that you could have got long term, right? And I see a lot of wholesalers have this selfish mindset. They'll get a deal and they'll say, oh, there's not enough to make on the deal. Well, I can't JV on this. There's not enough meat on the bone. Well, why'd you put it under contract? It's probably not a good deal from the beginning. And if you link up with another wholesaler, like if it was myself, we can analyze the deal together and I can say, hey, man, you probably got this a little bit too high. Let's bring it down, right? Before we send it out to cash buyers. And there's a lot of new wholesalers that come in and they make a lot of mistakes and they should be linking up with other wholesalers that are more experienced to learn the game. So I see that as well. And that's the ugly truth about wholesaling, man. You get a lot of savages on this level, man. You get a lot of fly-by-nighters, a lot of people just coming in for a second, trying to make some money, messing up the game a little bit because they want to learn on their own, which is fine, but they don't want to take any advice. And they don't want to take any advice from people that can help them close their first deal instead of making it such a sour experience. So we see that a lot. The last little truth I have before I got to get up out of here. What's the last truth? I'm not trying to do this to shy you away from wholesaling. I'm just giving you, my 4 or 5 year review of it. I just meet a lot of people that come in excited about wholesaling, and before you know it, they're getting beat up. They don't want to do it anymore. It takes too much work. It's too much time. It doesn't work, right? It's what things that they say. But you have to come into this business with the mindset of wanting to grow a business, right? Don't be the glorified wholesaler who stays a wholesaler for 10 years or so. Write down your goals and where you want to go. Wholesaling should be a technique that you can always use to make money, but you should want to grow into doing maybe some fix and flips or some rentals and development and go and go and go. Don't be that wholesaler that just wholesales. Don't be that guy. You want to be someone who grows. And when you grow to the next level, you meet more people. And it's funny because I start meeting people that even I was wholesaling with. Now they're becoming lenders and property managers and things like that. So again, be careful about the people that you burn bridges with, because in this wholesale business, very small, and these people grow and they know people and they can be your next resource. All right. So that's the truth, ugly truth about wholesaling. But other than that, man, that's it. Got to go to my doctor's appointment. And I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Keep moving, keep learning, keep growing. see how that works.